Okay, go live, 3, 2, 1.
If you undo
evening and welcome to the meeting of the Fairmont Area School Board. For roll call, all members are present with the exception of Mike Edmond and our student rep Abby Hyman. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You have before you the minutes of our last meeting. I entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it. Thank you. We have a motion by Julie, second by Mari. Any discussion or changes? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Motion carries. For the agenda, there's one slight change under item 5, celebrations. We're going to switch and put the 7th and 8th grade play first, and then we'll have the EMF recognition. Any other changes?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with those changes.
Second.
Thank you. A motion by Julie, second by Dan to amend the agenda. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Motion carries. Moving to our celebrations. We have the 7th and 8th grade play presentation.
Hello. Thank you for having us. We are super excited. Molly and I have picked up the junior high play this year, and for the second year in a row, we are inviting, kind of combining our elementary and our lower middle school. So we have like a 6, 7, and 8 enrollment for our junior high play. We have 21 students. My favorite thing about doing this, first of all, I teach high school mostly, so I don't get to be around 6th, 7th, or 8th graders during the day, and this has been the delight of my winter. I can't even tell you how much fun this has been. Secondly, these kids are so excited about what we're doing. And thirdly, this show is 100% student produced. I'm doing nothing. This place is doing nothing, and these kids are fully running the show. So the amount of learning that has happened over the last 6 weeks has been really, truly impressive. Our show is called Snow Dragon Stew, and it's a retelling of a classic children's story about a dragon who's bringing rocks and dropping them on a medieval village every day. And these poor villagers are in search of someone to help them with their dragon problem. So it's a 30-minute show, and it's really cute and adorable. We are doing a elementary performance for our kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And then we will have shows to the public on Thursday and on Friday at 7 p.m. in Casey. There is no admission. It is free of charge, so we would just really love to have as many people as possible come on out and see what these guys have put together. For tonight, I brought with us the 3 of our cast members who could make it, so I'd like them to maybe step to the podium, tell you their name and maybe how long you've been doing theater, if you can think of that, and then what their character is.
My name is Jennifer, and this is my 3rd play, and my character is the Weaver. I'm Sophia Stride. This is also my 3rd show, and I'm the Cheesemaker and Sir Holly.
I'm Carter Shimmer, and I've been in a lot of different plays, and I'm the farmer.
So, do you guys have some questions or some things you're wondering that I might have missed?
My kids already came home from school today. They're super excited to go see it tomorrow.
Oh, good. I'm so excited. I am too. It's been really fun watching them bring so many ideas. It didn't take very long for them to start having thoughts about what their character might be thinking or feeling, what they would really be carrying with them. So the show has adjusted and transformed with their imaginations. I love that. I really was thinking when we did dress rehearsal last night, and I had my hands in my lap, and I was just watching everything happen from lights to the sound, and I didn't have a headset on this time. That's unusual for me, and my light board operator is Ty DeBoer, 8th grader, and he said he had his headset on, And so occasionally he'd let me know, oh, this is what's going on backstage, but it's fine. Annabelle's got this handled, or Annika's working on this, and Dell needs batteries, but it's okay, I got it. And I was just like feeling so unnecessary and also like wildly proud. My heart was so big, and I thought, I'm really excited. Really excited.
I would just add it's great to see a feeder program for our performing arts. We started it a handful of years ago, I think, to have a junior high play. All of our sports have junior high activities. Our band, choir, and orchestra always started in 5th grade. So for now, our performers on stage to have this in their junior high years is huge for our program. And I think we're already starting to see the fruits of that labor in our high school performances, both in the spring and in the fall. So just wanted to note that it's only been a few years that we've done this, but it's hugely important for our kids that thrive and seek those opportunities in the theater.
Oh, absolutely. And just to see their confidence, being able to speak in front of a room full of people. We had kids at the beginning who said, I don't think I want any words, but I would stand there with something in my hand. And I was like, okay, that's something. That's where we're going to start. And already by now, well, do you think I could say maybe just this line or more? I mean, you just see that happening so quickly, and that's a skill that they're going to take with them forever. We're excited for the future, and thank you, as always, for having us and supporting what we do.
Thank you.
Do you happen to have any first-time kids that are doing their first plays?
Yes, we do. Maybe 5 or 6 who indicated that never before out of 21. And then on the upper end, a few that are kind of veterans, been here a lot. So,
Great.
yeah. Thanks.
I'll just add, as a parent, I'm excited because one of our children is a first-timer. To watch his 2 older siblings be in multiple performances, and they finally got him out of his comfort zone to take part. So we're really, as a parent, excited to see that too for him. So.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Thanks. We'll move on to EMF recognition.
Hello, good evening. My name is Jessica Schmidt, and I'm here with Lori Scott and Michelle Trado. And we are here representing Education Minnesota Fairmont. February is designated as Minnesota School Board Recognition Month. So our EMF members would like to recognize and say thank you to all the members of our school board. We appreciate all the time and effort you put in to make our schools a wonderful place to learn and grow. We know your job sometimes includes making hard decisions, and we appreciate the care with which you make those decisions. There are many things to be proud of at Fairmont area schools, and we thank you for your part in our school district community. On behalf of the Education Minnesota members, we would like to present you with a card and small token of our appreciation. The gifts in the bags were created by the high school art department students under the guidance of our art department staff, and the cards were created by the 6th grade art students. We thank you again for all your time and dedication to the students, staff, and community members in the Fairmont district. Thank you.
I don't really see these cards, but they're super cute.
So great, right?
So cute.
You guys did a great job.
Can we show what the
Yes,
students did too? Oh, how fun. It's a Minnesota magnet. That's really good.
And David.
Thank
Very
you.
nice.
Yeah, they're all different. It's really neat. I know I have mine, I've said this before, I have all mine in my fridge. I'll put this one on my fridge.
Yeah.
That's really, really
That
neat.
is my
Thank you.
office, yeah.
Except for it doesn't stick to stainless steel.
Thank you.
They're gorgeous. I've kept all of mine through all the years. And it's got a special place in my house where I keep every one that I've received. And I don't care which child has made them, they're all special. So thank you so much. They are so meaningful.
Thank you.
Thank you to the students for the magnificent cards, and to the teachers also for teaching them daily and more than just reading, writing, arithmetic, but for your diligence and dedication to our students. And that's what makes it worthwhile for us to be here, dedicated teachers and students. So thank you very much. Well, Superintendent Tradow has something as well.
Yeah, so I'll follow suit with our teachers with a School Board Recognition Month proclamation on behalf of the school district. So, whereas Fairmont Area Schools recognizes the importance of public education in our community, and whereas Fairmont Area Schools appreciates the vital role played by those individuals who, as local school board members, establish policies to ensure an efficient, effective school system, and whereas school board members serve as a voice that enables our community to preserve local management and control of our public schools, and whereas school board members are charged with representing our local education interests to state and federal governments and ensuring compliance with state and federal laws, and whereas school board members selflessly devote their knowledge, time, and talents as advocates for our school children, whereas local school board members are strong advocates for public education and responsible for communicating the needs of the school district to the public and the public's expectations to the district. Now therefore be it resolved that Fairmont Area Schools recognizes and salutes the members of the Fairmont Area School Board by proclaiming February 2024 as School Board Recognition Month. So thank you to all of you for your service. At the conclusion of the meeting today, I have certificates for each of you from the Minnesota School Board Association. And in my role, I would also like to just say thank you for all your support and collaboration on the operations of the school district. Obviously, as Nicole mentioned, it's a team effort from our students in the buildings to our teachers to our administration, U.S. school boards. We all work together, but you oversee those operations. And thank you for your time, energy, and efforts that you take outside your day twice a month at 5:15 on a Tuesday to be here in support of our kids and what we do in education. So thank you.
Thank you. We will now move on to our superintendent report and calendar.
All right, so as part of my bi-weekly report, our enrollment remains relatively stable, just over 1,700 students in the district. We are down from where we were at this point last year, but throughout the current school year, we've had a relatively stable enrollment. And a few buildings and grounds updates. As I meet monthly with Tyler Garrison, our Director of Buildings and Grounds, who continues to provide information regarding where we're at with several projects. If you've traveled along Prairie Avenue in our Cardinal Park softball complex, you'll notice the field house there is near its completion. It's about 75% complete. All the restrooms and concessions area have all the insulation and wall coverings up and are just putting some finishing touches on there to be ready for the month of March coming up here. Our gymnasium floor resurfacing project is estimated just under budget, which is always good news, and a final floor design is currently being decided on. Final quotes have been gathered for the elementary school east playground, just outside the windows here from where we are at. We will be using some of our remaining ESSER federal funds to complete this project as we did with the north playground 2 summers ago. So that will be brought up to speed there as well. The Performing Arts Center stage and orchestra pit opening is being researched, and we are awaiting a second quote for the stage lighting project. We're hoping that both of those projects will be done in time for our fall musical. In the lighting project, we've been told, depending on the timing of things, may even be ready for our spring play as well. Finally, our redesigned robotic STEM lab, our former wood shop, is in progress as a result of receiving a Schumann Foundation grant in combination with use of ESSER funds for programming that we can use for activities before and after school. So that's another exciting addition to our programming. An activities update, as I mentioned before, at the Big South Conference, we'll be welcoming 2 new schools in the fall of 2024. We're working out final details for how that impacts schedules and conference alignment moving forward, but we will now be at 15 member schools beginning with the 24-25 school year. Another exciting thing, our local Ag Advisory Committee is scheduled to meet on February 26th. At this meeting, we will be working to finalize some details for the operation of the Hunt Farm property that we've retained. That committee has done a great job of communicating and taking some leadership as we develop that experience for our students to be directly involved in the farming and management of that land that we've retained. It's something that we haven't used it for previously, so that'll be a great opportunity for our kids. I put a reminder in there on our achievement and integration plan that's due at the end of this month. That will be something new coming. I'll continue to provide updates there. One final thing, earlier this afternoon, another exciting partnership locally. We just finalized our agreement with the Fairmont Opera House, who is undergoing some significant needs and changes right now, but the Fairmont Area Schools Performing Arts Center will be housing the Civic Summer Theater performance that will be taking place this summer. So they will be using our facility the months of June and July. They just posted earlier today, their performance dates are scheduled the week of July 23rd through the 28th. So we're excited to work with them to offer that performance to our community using our facilities. With that, our next school board meeting is right here, February 27th, and that concludes my report.
Thank you. Any questions for Superintendent Trahan?
I just have another one that I will just bring up again, is with the activities update, with the addition of those teams. The schools just have the knowledge and the awareness that we are scheduling these games. There are concerns with the kids being on the road on school nights, especially in the winter months as well, a long time. And so just bringing that up again for just consideration and awareness so that we're keeping that thought in our minds.
Yep, and Activities Director Mahoney is fully aware of that. And that was the nexus of a lot of the conversation.
I mean, I realize somebody's got to move that, got to
Yeah.
come our way too, and I know
yeah.
that there's concerns. But like I said, it's just,
Yep.
it's been brought up to me a couple
Sure.
of times, so.
Yep.
Any other questions? All right, thank you, Superintendent Trahan. Financial business, donations and grants. Dan?
All right, we have a donation. I will introduce this resolution to accept the following donation as provided for in Minnesota statutes. From the Youth Foundation, a donation in the amount of $584 with the designated purpose of the high school weightlifting program. Again, I move for the adoption of the resolution to accept that donation.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. We have a motion to adopt resolution by Dan and a second by Jen. Any discussion? Roll call vote. Jen?
Aye.
Dan?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Mike? Julie?
Aye.
Mari?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. We'll move on to financial reports and bills. Jessica?
Yes, so you have in front of you wires and transfers from January 18th, 2024 to February 2nd. There's nothing out of the ordinary on that. We also have single check runs that we did on January 31st. That list is a little bit longer, just we did issue checks ahead of time to meet deadlines. And then the payment of the February 13th, 2024 bill run. On there, we do have a couple of large payments. One is to Larson Contracting Central, so the payment application on the concessions building. We do have a third billing to Southern Plains for about $417,000. And then, as Andy had talked about our robotics and STEM lab, we do have a payment to West Coast Products for part of the equipment in there for $5,935.44. Do you have any questions on any of the other payments?
If no other further questions, I will make a motion to approve the wire transfers for January 18th, 2024, February 7th, 2024, the January 31st, 2024 single checks, and the payment of the February 13th, 2024 bills.
We have a motion by Julie and a second by Mari. Any discussion or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have no old business, so we'll move on to new business. The school depository. Julie?
Jessica, you want to explain why we do this?
Yes. So Bremer Bank is going we'd like to pay vendors via ACH. So part of doing that with our current accounting provider, Smart, is they require us to go through Bremer Bank in order to do that. So we will be uploading that file to Bremer Bank, and then Bremer will sweep the funds from Bank of the West. So we won't actually really have any funds sitting with Bremer Bank other than when they sweep them to pay the vendors. So we do have to, the board does have to approve Bremer Bank as a depository of funds just for that simple in and out.
Because there's a period of time when school funds would be on deposit at that bank on its journey to the vendors.
Sure.
So I make a motion that Fairmont Area Schools approve designating Bremer Bank as a depository of school funds and authorizing the superintendent and business manager to sign any necessary release agreements for pledged securities for collateral purposes and initiate and approve electronic fund transfers.
I'll second it.
Thank you. We have a motion by Mike, second by Judy. Any discussion or further questions?
So does that mean in future years we'll just have them on the list of banks that we approve every year when we do our housekeeping at the beginning of the year?
This really isn't anything different that we're doing, correct? It's just a difference because it's going through Bremer Banks instead of.
So we currently don't pay any vendors via like this ACH, direct ACH process.
I thought we did some already.
We pay some through like this Commerce Bank, just kind of like a credit card.
Okay,
type of deal.
That's
So-
what I'm thinking,
Yes.
okay.
And then we do issue payroll via ACH, but we don't actually do any of our accounts payable vendors.
Thank you.
So again, I think you're right, it's just added to the list.
Yeah, we should have to go on the list for subsequent years too.
Correct.
Okay.
Do we pass that?
No, we haven't yet. Any other discussion or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to personnel, we have some retirements.
What if nobody makes a motion for this next item?
We can filibuster.
Yes, sadly enough, Judy has indicated her intention to retire effective June 30th, 2024. She has served as the superintendent's administrative assistant for 36 years. Wow.
I'll second the motion.
Any discussion other than what we've already said?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
Judy's
know.
awesome. That's the
Her,
discussion.
well, Judy's effective retirement date is June 30th, so we do have a few more months. And I'll save maybe some of the more heartfelt things there, but obviously with 36 years of investment in our school district, knowledge, background information, you're going to leave a massive void to fill, and with all that information, you've made my transition into this role as seamless as it possibly could, and I appreciate all that you do and continue to do and will continue to do for the next few months. And we've already got her on the hook to come back to visit us a few different times, but thank you, Judy, for your 36 years of service, and I think with that type of investment, as that date draws near, we'll continue to recognize you and your contributions. And with that, some of the hirings to come for employment are part of the transitionary plan that will actually begin on April 1st in our district office due to, again, the sheer amount of knowledge and experience that Judy has. We want to provide ample time for as much of that to get transferred as possible. So that's all part of the plan, and it's a little early because we have several months left, but thank you for all you've done for our district, and look forward to the final few months, and you'll still be in the community, so we'll still get to see you beyond that.
Yeah.
But thank you.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Employment,
It's being recommended that Mary Cole be hired to fill Sarah Truesdale's position as student accounting technician as Sarah transitions to the position of the superintendent's administrative assistant. Mary comes with valuable experience, having served in this position several years prior to Sarah assuming it. And then we also have Principal Rosen recommending that Stacy Bailey be hired as a long-term substitute elementary teacher. This is Stacy's second long-term substitute position at this year. So I make a motion to approve Mary Cole for student accounting technician effective April 1st, 2024, salary step 10,
and Stacy Bailey, long-term substitute elementary teacher, effective on or about March 21st to the end of the school year, salary BA step 1.
Second. Thank you. We have a motion by Jen, second by Marty. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Employee contracts.
We want to do these individually or just all on one motion? Your preference, Madam Chair.
Individual. Thank you.
I will make a motion that the district approve and adopt a tier contract with Education Minnesota Fairmont, covering the 2023-24 and the 2024-25 school years. This is a collectively bargained contract with our teachers. Several of us on the board were in negotiations over a period of several months. It's a contract that I understand is acceptable to teachers' union representation, and it's recommended that by the committee that the board approve that contract. So I'll make that motion.
Thank you. I have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
I have a motion by Mike, second by Julie. Any comments or questions?
I guess I'll add a few things because I started editorializing during the motion. Many meetings. When I say many, I mean more than 5 or 6, and most of them were productive. There's just a lot to go over, a lot of moving parts. I think it's a fair contract, and I think it's one that the district can afford, and it's responsible, at least from my understanding. And Jessica was involved in almost all of the meetings and caucuses, so we're always looking at the numbers, looking at the future. So when I say it was many, I guess I'm not suggesting that it took forever. It was productive. And sometimes complicated things take a long time to get done. So good relationships with the people on the teachers team. I might have enjoyed it more than everybody else because this is something that I do, but I look forward to doing it again and having another successful negotiation in a couple of years.
Thank you. Any other discussion or questions?
I'm happy to see the stipends for a lot of our fine arts advisors and coaches be increased, that they're more in line with the athletics as well. They all do a lot of hard work and do a great job, so I'm happy to see that.
Some of the things were easier to agree on right away than the others, and that might have been one of them. The list on day one was pretty long. It was the last, handful of things that took the rest of the time.
Okay, any other discussion or questions? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, motion carries.
All right, we have a second contract that we need to approve. I make a motion, excuse me, to approve that the board approve a tier contract for the CER director that will cover the 23-24 and the 24-25 school year. That's in your appendix.
Second. And we have a motion by Mike, second by Marty. Any discussion or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And our last one, Mike?
Third contract, I make a motion that the board approve a tier contract for the community outreach liaison covering the 2023-24 and 2024-25 school years. Contract terms can be found in your appendix.
Second. Was that you, Julie?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. We have a motion by Mike, second by Julie. Any discussion or questions?
I would just add, this was a position that was added at the onset of the pandemic as a second support personnel in this area. The previous contract did not have any benefits. There was not a benefit package to go with it. So that was the primary thing of this, is we're committed to this position long-term, so we have people at each of our buildings helping in a similar role, and to provide that additional compensation via the benefits package.
And I guess because I made the motions and I defined it as the school year, it goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway. These are retroactive, applicable back to the start of the school year, which the effective date would be July 1st. July 1st? Jessica, is that right?
For the teacher group, it would be their first date of employment for the current school year. For the other two, it would be July 1.
Right, so when I say the school year and define it, that's a very defined thing. So while we approve the contract today, the terms go back in time as if it was the
Yes,
contract terms were there at the beginning of.
It's negotiated as to where the contract starts, that is part of the negotiating process, yes.
Any further discussion or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, motion carries. Now we'll move on to our board and committee reports. Julie, policy?
Yes, policy meeting, we met on January 30th, and we discussed a minor revision to the policy 410, family and medical leave, admitting just a singular sentence under there. We reviewed and they didn't have to come to the board for approval. Policy 416, drug, alcohol, and cannabis testing. That is basically unchanged. We just went through it as to review. The main thing was that there's some forms that have to be included in the policy, and found out that our prior policy, we did not have the letterhead on, and so that'll be changed in the new updated policy. Policy 506, student discipline, there's a minor change on that policy. It was a sentence that was added clarifying alignment with Minnesota statute citing prohibition of exclusionary practices for early learners. And then there are some other revisions that were just very minimal, that will, just some new legislation changes from December 23, not really legislative, but some other changes that were recommended. So a new MSBA policy 606.5, we reviewed that initially at the November 20th meeting. We did some research on that, reviewed it, and we are now going to bring that back a second time. Well, actually a third time to review, so that policy we'll revisit and we'll review at our next meeting. And then we also, as a follow-up in at the policy meeting, not as a part of the policy, but we did discuss the Sunday facility use for school activities. Not that we would have, it wasn't anything about the cost or anything, that's decided in the operations committee, but the group just kind of did a general consensus that we were approving that we would recommend that school would not have anything to the school scheduled as school events on a Sunday unless it was necessary. As an example would be, we've done it in the past when, for example, like I said, the football team went to state and we had to change the school musical, and so that was just a one-off thing, just something that had happened because we just didn't have any other dates to do it. And so that was all we would do. We're just trying to recommend that we would not use it, school events, anything school-sponsored, not to use the school buildings at that time. We'll use it if other groups want to use it, that's fine, but as our school district will not be planning and scheduling school events. That's it.
Any questions for Julie? Okay. I'll report on SDCC. We met on the 6th, and we went over at the last professional development, had some Kagan training, which is it's teaching techniques in the classroom to help our learners. It's very well researched and very well respected across the educational community. And there was talk about the Kagan techniques and the implementation of them in the classrooms. There was also a lot of discussion about the SEL, which is the social and emotional learning of our students, and how much, I don't think the school is unique in feeling this. I think society in general is feeling this, that our students and our children and adults need social and emotional learning, and that it's important that we continue to work through that in our district, to look for resources to help our teachers and to help our students and our families to be able to cope with the many pressures that exist in society today. And that's basically the synopsis of it. There were some who were here, who were there as well, and it was a very good discussion. I appreciated it. Any questions for me? CER Advisory Council meeting, Mari?
So we had a guest speaker, Amy Becker, one of the social workers from Fairmont Elementary. There were a lot of people at the table that were surprised at some of the things they have to deal with and where our students and our families are in some situations. The kids really resilience training and skills. They're trying to work with the kids to, maybe they're not at home and learning the right techniques to calm yourself down. Limiting technology and just basic resources. Making sure the kids get to school. If there's a parent that works a late shift and they have a doctor's appointment and there's no one to watch the little ones. So there was a lot of eyes opened at that meeting and a lot of good conversation about how we can continue to help and different programs. On more of a fun time, they are increasing adaptive hoops. That was in the newspaper, and so that's been a fun program. There were 100+ kids that were recognized at the B Squad game, so for CER. They're in full summer mode planning flag football and T-ball. STEM classes are increasing the attendance. They're always looking for new ideas and instructors, new offerings. Book club is a current teacher and a retired teacher, so look on the web store for that in case you're interested. All in all, that was a very good meeting. There were a lot of good ideas and conversations that were had. Next meeting is March 14th.
Thank you. Any questions for Mari? All right, then I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you. A motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
So talking about how many seconds for negotiation. Well, it's like a client of us